Spray control in Counter-Strike 2 is extremely hard to master, and today we are going to walk through all the things that you should be doing in order to improve your recoil understanding. We're going to make it so that you have a set training routine. You know exactly what you need to do in order to start spraying like a pro inside of your game. Let's talk about recoil. The first thing that you guys need to understand, it is very simple to start learning recoil. It's a very hard concept to understand in full, but ultimately getting started is not that difficult. I'm going to link you guys a workshop map down below. This is going to be Recoil Master. A lot of the OGs of Counter-Strike know about this map. This is something that I trained in for at least 5 minutes every single day. To get good at these type of things, it's not rocket science. It's not a secret hidden thing. It's just good, consistent practice. That's the first thing. You're not going to get good recoil if you just give up because you start failing. It's too hard. I don't understand it. The first tip I can really give you that's going to transform the way you think about it is break it down into 2 patterns. Do you see here the recoil for an AK? These are where we need to drag our hand. These are all where all the bullets are going to go if I just sit there and let the recoil do its thing. This is one pattern right down to here. And then there's another pattern. It's essentially a top and bottom lateral vertical pattern. And then there's a side to side movement that is completely different. So what you want to do is sit there and just focus on the first 10 to 15 bullets instead of having to worry about all this mess at the bottom. Just move your hand down and get used to that feeling. I used to do this for dozens of hours over the course of weeks, over the course of months, and it really helped me get better at this. I would do this with every single rifle, AK, M4, AUG, just stuff like that, especially even like MP9. These are things I need to do more. These are the bullets you're more likely to shoot anyways. You're not always going to be sitting there and committing to a 30-man spray down. It's overwhelming to think like that. When we can actually break it down in this consistent way, you're at least going to start getting better at that first part of the spray pattern. Now, if you want skins that are going to match these tips that I'm giving you, then I have a message from the sponsor of today's video. This video is brought to you by SkinsMonkey, the best CS2 trading site out there. Swap out your low quality skins for fresh new ones using all of their trade features. I love the filters that you can use to get the exact skin that you desire. I have personally used SkinsMonkey to build my inventory over the years. Right now, use my code CoJo at the checkout for an insane 35% deposit bonus. The best part is that you will receive a $5 bonus by clicking the link in the description. Over time, we are slowly going to start improving our recoil by getting in this recoil trainer map and just sitting there and focusing on these bullets. Now, if you truly want to become a recoil master, a spray control legend, what you need to start doing is slowly branching out into more and more bullets and introducing some sort of movement while you're shooting. This can be little micro strafes with A and D, just so that our player model is moving a little bit while we're still fully accurate. What is probably the easiest is just practicing some sort of donk sliding method where we are crouching and moving towards one direction. So I might crouch and move to the right with D, or crouch and move to the left with A. This map is really cool because you can also increase the distance for those of you that have a little bit better of understanding of recoil. At the beginning, for you guys that are just training for the first time, I would just recommend keeping the bot up here and spraying him. But yeah, don't be discouraged. You're going to be a rookie. It's not going to be easy at the beginning, but slowly over time, if you just implement this type of training, very simple, very easy, you are going to succeed. Now, let's talk about some more advanced methods that we can implement into our spray control. What you are looking at right here is actually spray transfer mode in refrag.gg. Now, this is a paid service, but for those of you serious about learning the game, growing, and being the best competitor possible, I would recommend Refrag. This isn't sponsored at all by them. I love taking advantage of the spray transfer mode. It's very cool. You can put on practice mode in here, and it's going to make bots peek out at you. And if you're not fast enough, if you don't think about the angle when fighting these guys, you absolutely will get punished. Again, this is something I'd recommend my more advanced players that already have an understanding of how to spray transfer, because spray transferings are a lot more complicated. You have to worry about the angles you're positioning yourself in. You got to worry about multiple different targets, and it can be really tough as a beginner to sit there and try to think about your recoil in this way. So definitely a fun exercise to go through and implement into your training. I'd say if you're trying to get better at spray control, this is an absolute must to add to your practice routine. The best thing about it is you can train on actual maps. It's not like some workshop map that's not going to be in the game. No, this is Inferno. This is giving me live reps that are going to simulate what I might be facing inside of the game. Ultimately, one of the best ways that helped me learn my recoil back in the day was just doing wall shooting drills. This is going to be as simple as going into your own server and turning on SV_show impacts 1. Once you have this on, as you can see, when we shoot around the map, it's going to leave these trails where we can actually gauge where our bullets are going. This is important for learning recoil because if I shoot on this wall right here, I'm just holding mouse 1, boom, it's going up there. I can start to understand that recoil pattern a little bit more. So when in doubt, if I just want to sit there and learn a recoil pattern, I might come into a server and just start practicing shooting little groupings like this. Now, of course, if you want to get a little more advanced, you can visualize different angles and sit there and see how your bullets are actually reacting based on this. But using the other tools we showed earlier in this video, plus these wall training drills where we're just shooting, it's going to help us have a better handle on our recoil, on our aim. Because at the end of the day, if you think about it, recoil is just aim. It's where you're moving your crosshair. Now, ultimately, this is a tough topic to teach and talk about because it's going to be a lot of muscle memory. It's going to be a feeling-based thing. What I will say that is if you want to get better at recoil, stop changing your sensitivity. Stop changing your resolution. Get rid of these outside factors that are making it harder for you to learn the game. Not only just recoil training, but every single aspect of aiming, it makes it harder. One of the biggest things too is just focusing on different situations you might find yourself in. Might need to recoil train to learn how to spam the box, right? And that can be really important. I might need to spray ticket booth because there's an enemy hiding there. So I like just getting in a server and running around and going through these different scenarios. Don't forget to use the guns that are a little more neglected, the Galil, the FAMAS, because you're going to find yourself using these in games. And how many of those of you that are new know the Galil spray pattern, right? How many of you know what that looks like? So really sit there, learn all these different patterns. And the tip is for the Galil, it's a backwards 7. So it's pretty easy to remember mentally. It's just about getting those reps in, day-to-day practice. When I was competing at the highest level for my own career, there was not a day that went by that I didn't train my recoil patterns, even though I use the gun that has 0 recoil, the ops. So that's how important this is. If you want to be a good player, you can't neglect this. Start implementing it into your training. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Shout out to all my YouTube members. You guys are amazing. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.